Okay, so today I am going to go over some acne coverage slash full coverage. I don't know why I go to like ninja moves. Using Seint Beauty makeup. So most of the time I stick with pretty light coverage, natural, just simple, fast. But we got some visitors. And I don't normally have bad breakouts like this, so I don't know what it's from. But regardless, I'm trying to look on the positive side and say, hey, now I can do a full coverage acne coverage video, which I haven't done in a long time. So that's what we're gonna do today. And then I also was thinking, I feel like a lot of times when we see like full coverage makeup videos that it's like kind of an all or nothing. At least that's what I see a lot, which means like it's like, you know, full eye with like dark colors or like smoky eye and stuff like that. And you don't always need that, right? So today I'm gonna do full coverage face makeup, and then I'm gonna keep my eyes pretty neutral and simple. So then, you know, you can have your full coverage, but then still just an easy, simple, no fuss eye. Here's the palette I will be using. So it's a completely customizable, refillable palette from Seint. So all the links will be in the description that you can check it out and shop. So in this top part, I have all my cream main face products that we are going to be using today. And to start with my eyes, I like to put some of my foundation on them to kind of, as like a primer, because it works just as well. And then it's one less product that I have to buy. Okay, I'm gonna be going in with my first shade. We're only gonna be using 3 total shades today. So I told you it was gonna be simple. So Drift, Chai, and Bird. This is also the shade I'm gonna use to fill in my brows. So seriously, this is like the most minimalist eye look ever, okay? So I'm gonna go in with this really fluffy brush into Drift. Second shade, we're going to go in with that Chai. I'm using that same fluffy side, and we're gonna just put this in the outer edges and then into the crease a little bit. So I'm putting the most product on the outside and then just dragging some in to just lightly create that blend. So if you want, you can stop there, but I like to add just a little more depth. So we're gonna go in with that Bird. We're now gonna use the smaller end. I'm gonna put a little bit under my eyes as well. Okay, so I like how this adds like intention, like, oh, like I intentionally did my eyes, but it's still like you just saw, super easy, simple, and still light enough for just like an everyday look. All right, I decided we're gonna do brows next because it does kind of bug me when they are not done. So first, I just like to brush them up. It also gets out any, I don't know, little like stray hairs. I'm using this very small angled brush. I'm gonna go in with that Bird. And I'm just gonna do very small upward strokes, just like hair strokes. And I just keep with my natural brow shape. Okay, let's get into this acne coverage. So first off, the 3 brushes I love for spot concealing, full coverage, acne coverage, all those things, are these three brushes right here. So the first one is the buff brush, great for just all over full coverage. The detail brush, which obviously, like it says, is great for details, and it also is a pretty dense brush. And then the last one is the smudge brush, which is a good small domed one. It's the one I use a lot for like specifically targeting like those blemishes, okay? All right, so I actually use 3 different shades, especially for times like this when I have kind of some different things going on. So I can get this open. Okay, so I have this, this is my darkest shade I have, and this is the one I use for concealing, for any red areas, dark under eyes. This is my main shade that goes on most of my face, and this is my brightening shade. So I'll put that like around my eyes and just anywhere to kind of give like a little pop of like brightness, okay? So we're gonna start off with my concealing shade. And I am going to just hit anywhere, like I said, that just is a little bit red, so like around my nose. We are gonna hit the blemishes and then make sure to go back over them later. Okay, so I know it's looking a little bit crazy, sloshy, and messy right now. We are going to fix all that. So we're gonna go back in with my main shade now, which is White Peach, by the way. Aura White Peach Moonlit. All right, I'm still using that same buff brush, that larger end, and that main shade now. And you'll notice that I'm doing like a kind of a stippling motion, so I'm pushing it in and then kind of bouncing it, which is also helping it blend as I go. Okay, now for contour, you can use either brush. So you can use the smaller end of the buff brush or this end of the detail, which you can see is going to give you a nice straight edge. So I'm going to use this detail brush. So I like to just set it in the pan like this on the edge. Just get a decent amount on there. I'm going to find my cheekbone. I'm going to follow that and just hug it. And then to blend, I'm just gonna like kind of brush it up and down. Okay, now we're going to that other brush that I showed you, this really small one that I tried like a greenish blue eyeshadow once and it stained it forever. So that's okay, we're not gonna use that side. Doesn't really, they're both pretty similar. It doesn't matter what side you use, but so now this is just going back doing for sure, like, I don't know, just touch up areas. So I'm gonna go back with that concealing one. I'm actually not going to put a ton of product on it. We're just gonna lightly dab any areas that just need a little extra. Okay, and then for my blush and lip, I'm gonna go in with this Tropicana, and I'm gonna use that little smaller end of the detail brush. All right, we got 2 steps, or no, 3 steps left, sorry. So I'm gonna put on some bronzer using this blush bronzer brush. Now for that final highlight I told you about, that brightening one. Like I said, we're just putting it in the corners of my eyes. So these final 2 things I also usually don't do because I just don't need to when I'm doing light and minimal makeup looks, but setting. So I'm going to take this Perfector sponge first so it's damp, it's not soaking wet, it's not dry, and I'm just lightly going to go through. This just picks up any weird excess. I especially like to do it around my jaw and ears. Sometimes that's where a little extra can go. And then finish off with a setting spray. So I love this Stay from Seint. It's very light, it's not greasy or sticky feeling, and I feel like it works really well. Usually 3 sprays is plenty. And we're done.